Welcome back to my views and news. Some news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, before these news stories, I want to say a few words about the apology by Fano to Ethiopian National Defense Force. Several viewers contacted me. Some commented saying that the report I shared in the last video was incorrect. Fano, East Amhara Fano of Mere Vedajo never apologized. I shared Amhara government's position with you. You can see a screenshot of Amhara state media's report about what happened between East Amhara Fano and Amhara government Ethiopian National Defense Force representatives in talks. Amhara state media claimed that Fano has apologized, firstly. Secondly, Amhara state media says that the Fano fighters have agreed to return to normal lives. What does it mean? Disarmament, obviously. If Fano fighters are returning to normal lives, it means either they'll become part of some government departments, or they will live their lives as civilians. No role as a fighter, as a member of a security force. Or they could be members of security force. But in all cases, they'll be disarmed. That is what Amhara government's position is. Now, I have not heard from Mere Vudajo so far personally. What is he saying? And definitely this disarmament will take some time. Agreement has been reached. So Fano will gradually release their arms if they haven't released the arms already. That is what the position of Amhara government is. If Fano commander Mere Vodajo shares anything denying, rejecting government's position, we'll try to update you. Now, some new stories. First one is about Getachew Reda, interim president, who was interviewed on Volta TV, state-backed television channel, and there he spoke in detail about building of trust between the Tigray government and Ethiopian federal government. And he talked about a drone strike which I reported in September when no one believed that that drone strike happened on Getachew Reda's house. Secondly, a journalist has been arrested for the second time in almost 4 months. Thirdly, was two statements have been issued by the groups which claim to be representatives of Amhara resistance movement. While Amhara state media is sharing pictures from Gondar, Bahidar about normalcy there, what do these two statements say about the Amhara resistance movement? What is second phase? Is there any second phase of this movement? Firstly, viewers, Getachew Reda, Tigray interim president, appeared on Volta TV and he was interviewed there. He spoke there, and some say he was seen wiping his tears. He was wearing glasses. It seemed as if he was wiping his tears under his glasses. He described a drone strike which happened on his house. It was September last year when I got information about that drone strike. I reported. No one believed back then. No one in local, national, international media believed that report. Several viewers criticized me. I got that information from a very reliable source who was on the ground there. And now, later it was confirmed through other sources. After a few days, I think international media picked up the story and they wrote on it. And now Getachew himself is confirming that drone strike was conducted on his house in September. It was a twin drone strike. Two drone strikes happened, and in his interview with Walter TV, he said, I think 11 were killed in that strike, or 13. Two of his bodyguards, 11 others. 13 were killed. His house suffered heavy damage. He managed to survive somehow. He described this incident, and he described the destruction, the damage suffered by Tigray, by other regions too in the war. And he said trust is building between Tigray interim government and Ethiopian federal government. He said that when he visited Addis Ababa, he did not take his security along. PM Abiy appointed a security guard for his security. So that just shows that trust is building between the two sides. He criticized YouTube haters, that there are some YouTube channels, journalists which spread hatred. By the way, the two sides were doing the same a few months ago. The two sides learned the hard way. Tens of thousands were killed, and now they're preaching peace. These politicians on both sides, they should have prevented this war. They failed. They failed miserably. In the last 2 years of war, they were spreading hatred, calling each other terrorists, genociders. Now they have learned the lesson, but hard way. What YouTubers are doing, it was because these leaders spoke hatred. So that is what was reported by YouTubers, by social media activists, which should stop. Hate speech should be condemned. But instead of putting entire blame on social media, on journalists, on YouTubers, these politicians should also apologize to the people of Ethiopia, people of Tigray, people of Amhara. And they should announce the start of a new beginning. They should invite all YouTubers, activists, journalists, politicians, security officials. Sit once and for all and make decisions about future of Ethiopia. That is the way to move forward. Otherwise, arrests of journalists won't resolve this issue. Because journalists are from society. What is happening in society, they're reporting it. If society is full of hatred, journalists cannot remain free of the influence of this hatred. Again, I don't back such social media activists, YouTubers, and others who spread hatred, but the problem is that blaming the social media only for whatever is happening in Ethiopia is unfair. Mainly ruling elite is responsible for the war, for the damage. And lessons have not been learned so far, what I believe. It's not that Ethiopia is on the right track. No accountability. No one held accountable. Who started this war? Who caused this immense suffering? No one held accountable. So how to avoid future conflicts if you don't pinpoint perpetrators, if you don't hold them accountable? We have a clip for you of Getachew when he was interviewed on Walter TV. He seemed emotional, touched when he was describing the destruction and the strike on his house. With the clip, the next news story.
መፍታት ደግሞ እኔ በትርፍ ጊዜ ነው የምኖረው። ብዙ ሰዎች መስዋዕት ከፍለዋል። እኔ በነበርኩባቸው አካባቢዎች በርካታ ሰዎች ህይወታቸውን አጥተዋል። በርካታ ጓደኞቼ እኔ በተደጋጋሚ ተአምር በሚባል መንገድ ከሞት ተርፌያለሁ። በትርፍ ነው መንቀሳቀሰው ማለት ነው። በእንደዚህ አይነት ጊዜ ውስጥ እኔ ነገር የመጨረሻ በታርጌት የተደረኩበት እለት ማለት እንዴት ሰርቫይቭ አደረኩ የሚለው ሌላ ሲጻፍ ምናምን ብቻ ነው ሊገባ የሚችለው። ሰው መኝታ ክፍሌ ተመቷል። ሁለት ልጆቼ ሰሚት የመጨረሻው ጋራ ላይ ሆኖ እንደሰራው አድርጎ ሊያሳምን ይሞክራል። እንደዛ የሚባል ነገር ሰላምን አይፈጥርም። ለእንደዚህ አይነት ክስተት አሁን ቅድም እንዳልኩ ነው የጥፋት መጠን የማወዳደር ጨዋታ ውስጥ ለምን ደምጋው ጥፋት ነው። የትግራይን ያክል እንደ ህዝብ መከራ የከፈለ ህዝብ የለም ብያምናለሁ። ያ ማለት ኳንቲቲ ያነጻጸርን ቮሊዩም ያነጻጸርን ትግራይ የበለጠ ተሰቃይቷልና ወደሚል ጨዋታ እንገባለን ማለት አይደለም። እንደዚህ አይነት ነገር ነው።
ባለፈው ተዚሎት እንደሆነ የመጀመሪያ ግን
Secondly, a journalist has been arrested for the second time in around 4 to 5 months, I think. His name is Teddy Asfaw. He was arrested a few months ago, remained in detention for some time, released, but again arrested reportedly from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. His family is confirming that security officials raided the house and kidnapped Teddy Asfaw. So far, his arrest has not been confirmed by security forces. Yesterday, a journalist of Arat Kilo Media YouTube channel was arrested. His name is David Begishaw. Arrested in Bahir, I think, and after that Teddy Asfaw. So this campaign of arrests against journalists, social media journalists and others is continuing. Thirdly was two statements have been issued by some bodies, by some groups which claim to be representatives of Amhara resistance movement. Though we don't know if these groups are genuine or not. But life is coming back to normal. Amhara State Media today shared pictures from Gondar and Bahidar. Shops open, vehicles can be seen along the roads. No strike there, it seems. One organization yesterday claimed that a 10-day strike would be observed in Gondar city, and then next phase will be announced of the struggle. Then we saw another statement from another source claiming to be representative of the movement. That statement announced the suspension of protests, stating the reasons like Muslim religious festival coming, religious festival Eid and Easter. That after Eid, Easter, next phase will be announced. It seems that this movement has no central body. That is what I said yesterday. Conflicting statements. No one knows what is the next plan. And is the plan going to be restricted to one city or entire Amhara region? It was mainly city-based resistance movement. It would be difficult for this movement to start any second phase. And let's hope that there is no second phase. Let's hope that the issues are unresolved. One of the two statements mentions likely role of Orthodox Church. That letters have been sent to Abune Abraham, Archbishop of the Orthodox Church, that the church should intervene. We saw intervention of the church in Debre Berhan and in Voldia. In Volo, Church's mediation worked. East Amhara Fano agreed. An agreement was reached there, about which State Media says that Fano has apologized there. Let's hope that there is someone to mediate, to resolve this issue, because second phase, if happened, would be deadlier. Let's hope there is no second phase and the issues are resolved through dialogue, through talks. Thank you for watching.